All right, and I will call this order of the Urbana Public Television Commission to order at a 12:05 p.m. on July 11th, 2014. Would the clerk please call the roll?
I'd be happy to. Commissioner Folk?
Present.
Commissioner Polk?
Present.
Commissioner Cinder?
Present.
Carol Inskeep notified us that she would not be able to make it. Christopher Fuller is not yet here. You have a quorum.
Great. Does anyone have any modifications to the agenda they would like to propose? Hearing none, I'll move on to approval of the minutes from last time. Did anyone have any comments on those on the minutes? I would entertain a motion to approve them.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay. The minutes are approved from our March 14th, 2014 meeting. Moving on to correspondence. Did we have any correspondence this?
There was no correspondence to the commission.
Okay. And then moving on to the staff report.
Sure. I'll start with staff. We've had some turnover in UPTV staff in the past quarter. Our former intern, Caleb Serapinis, left us for a full-time position elsewhere, and we wanted to thank him. He was a fantastic employee, and we miss him, and we want to thank him for everything he contributed while he was here. We also lost Julia Jones, our other intern, who accepted a full-time position with the finance department in the city. So she left us as of July 1st. And she also did a fantastic job for us, and we want to thank Julia as well. It was great to have her here while she was here. So we've lost, in the past month, over 20 hours of staff time. So we're reconfiguring again. We have hired Dan Pano as our new production assistant. He'll be working 12 hours a week, primarily on Friday and Saturday, assisting with community access programming and production. And as of July 1st, Urbana Public Television has moved from the finance department to the executive department of the city of Urbana. I guess my overwhelming item of importance is that UPTV has won 2 national awards from the Alliance of Community Media. We submitted several programs, and the WEF sessions, which we do in collaboration with Community Radio WEFT, won in the radio programming category. Diamond Robinson was the producer of that program. And Ray Morales, who won the regional award, Best Show at the ACM, also took a national award for music video for his Illinois Poets Society and Chicago City Youth piece that he did with Urbana Public Television, and also partially funded by an Urbana Public Arts grant. These are the first national awards we've won from our national trade organization, so we're very proud of this. I had been planning to attend the conference in Philadelphia in August, the national annual conference, and I decided instead to ask Jason to go because as our production coordinator, I thought he should be the one to represent us there and receive those awards. So he'll be in Philadelphia the first week of August. It's 3 days of workshops and networking, and I think it'll be a great experience for him and great experience for anybody that gets to meet Jason and pick his brain too. So I'm sending him instead. We continue to produce Market Menu and Art at the Market. Jason did a feature piece on municipal electric aggregation, just informing citizens of the situation. We received coverage on Smile Politely. There was an article about Newsview and Michael Badger a couple of weeks ago. Michael's returned to the air, and his first program was an interview with Don Gerard. And so Smile Politely did a piece on him, so we got some promotion from that. And I also included in your packet a press release that Natalie Kenny Marquez sent out concerning a new program that Jason is producing. It's basically a talk show about the city of Urbana and its various departments and events and functions and people. It's half an hour once a month. We continue to produce Art Now, which is sort of a similar look at the art scene in Urbana. So this is a new addition to a regular addition to our monthly schedule of programming focusing on Urbana. As far as social media goes, we've reached 1,245 tweets on Twitter with 339 followers that include people like the mayor of Champaign and reporters for CIA3 and MTD. So we feel very well connected as far as that goes. And our Facebook weekly total reach topped out in May at 1,630 people. Jason and I continue to attend the Communications and Outreach meeting and the Community Marketing and Outreach meeting. The first is internal and the second is external. We continue to get a lot of program ideas and promotional leads from those meetings. In terms of upcoming projects for Urbana Public Television, we'll be speaking with Dr. Barrington Coleman, who is the director of a new educational and performing arts summer academy at the University of Illinois School of Music called the House of Singing. It's designed as an intensive summer arts program for aspiring professional classical singers. Dr. Coleman's sons have been volunteers at Urbana Public Television. Crofton is a camera operator for us. We hope to do both a feature piece on the new program as well as possibly actually recording and broadcasting some of the concerts and interviewing some of the participants in that. We're excited about that. We'll also be doing a very interesting project in collaboration with the City of Champaign Township and Dr. Reverend Eugene Barnes, who is writing and producing a play that will focus on economic pathways for disadvantaged kids, especially from the African American community in town. We're going to do a live play on a Tuesday evening, August 12th, broadcast from the City Council chambers. This is, I think, the first time we've done a live play. So this is going to be, I think, pretty exciting. So we'll do a big media push on this as well. I'm looking forward to that. We'll be present at Sweet Corn Festival to record the community music stage. And we still have a back burner project, as it were, the cooking show from Urbana Middle School, which is still in the works. We've had one sort of major schedule change, and that is we lost the Tom Hartman live call-in program on Monday and Fridays because the live broadcast time for that program changed to a time that we cannot accommodate in our schedule given our city meeting commitments. So I'm looking at opportunities to add some other live national call-in show to our schedule because I think that adds an immediacy to our broadcasting and a freshness that is very welcome to our viewers. We've also added a nationally produced program called Hollywood Makeover, which is a program aimed at teaching video and movie making skills to independent filmmakers, especially teenage independent filmmakers. It's an 18-part series. It does things like, you know, how to shoot from a moving car, how to go about getting permission to film in public places, things like that. So I'm excited about that program. I think that'll be an interesting thing. We have a new commission as part of our live and repeat broadcast schedule. It's the IDOT Traffic Stop Data Task Force. It's a monthly commission on Wednesday evenings. We also, during the past quarter, aired the EPA public hearing on the Mahomet Aquifer, which was quite a fiery session, as it made good television. We aired the annual Busey Economic Seminar weekly for the month of May. We're currently running, from time to time, new videos produced from the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Champaign County EDC, highlighting the tech ecosystem in Champaign-Urbana, which is sort of our booming business these days. So we have features with Brett Walker and Laura Frericks, Eric Mills, and some other people. We're dropping those in. In terms of member productions, Anna Applebaum will be producing a live broadcast every Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. beginning today, and we'll be following that with a new early edition of News View with Michael Badger at 3:30. Our volunteer producer, Lamont Johnson's been very active lately with a series of programs he collectively calls Mont TV. He focuses on sports, on music, and African American cultural history. And he does some really great video production, and those usually run late at night. Jacob Bernard, our young volunteer assistant intern, is doing a fantastic job producing a weekly program called Friday Night Live, which is filmed at the Friday Night Live concerts in Champaign. And he's doing a great job. It's an hour-long program. He tries by himself to get as much as he can of all of the performances going on each of those evenings in Champaign. So we're really happy about that program. He also filmed part of the Urbana Park District Roots Walk, which will be on the air at some point, and is continuing to work with ideas for the Lincoln Square Bluegrass Jam that he was producing. We have a new religious program from Rantoul, the Holy Rama Temple. Henry Radcliffe, a retired TV producer over at WILL Television, has become a volunteer producer and produced 3 programs: the Hatch Trashin' Show, the Art Fair, and a program called Remaking Music. We're happy to have Henry around. His skills are great. We produced programs, some concert programs from the Iliac Festival that took place in downtown Urbana. We once again were present at the Champaign County Freedom Celebration to film the 4th of July parade, and we gave that extensive coverage over the past week. We filmed the Urbana High School graduation, the adult ed graduation, both of which will air again this afternoon. And we're running a video that local video producer Mark Landman made for Leal School. It's a short piece called Heroes and Dreamers. It's a very inspirational little piece of film. It's about 13 minutes long, and you'll see that from time to time on the air as well. And I guess that's an excellent segue to Jason to talk a little bit more about our involvement with the schools.
So this spring we continued our work with the Urbana High School journalism class, broadcasting some soccer games as well as baseball games. We were able to actually stream those live from the ballpark this year, which is a first for that, and then they ran later on Urbana Public Television. So successful in those endeavors, and we hope to keep working with that core group of students who will actually be seniors next year. And they started when they were freshmen, so we've seen them all the way through, and they stuck with us. So hopefully we're also able to recruit some freshmen or sophomores, some underclassmen, to help us out in future years. For the first time, I was not filming the graduation this year. I was just overseeing the students film the graduation this year, which is kind of the ideal setup since it's high school graduation, the underclassmen filming the seniors, so that was nice. Next week, we are working with the Urbana Park District. One of their summer camps will be stopping by UPTV for a couple hours, doing a tour, kind of just letting them know what we're all about and what we do, and teaching them some camera and audio skills, and we'll probably put them in front of the green screen and do some fun stuff there. One thing that I want to make mention is our website. If you visited it lately, you will notice that it's not the Drupal content management system that we've been using. I'm referencing urbanapublictelevision.org. City's still the same site that we've had. And at urbanapublictelevision.org, just due to the staff changes and obviously the level of our expertise and the kind of the time that we have to spend on it, we've switched to a more basic site that we're able to maintain a little bit easier than developing that. Not to say we're completely away from the community media Drupal starter kit and working with that group. I still collaborate and am in contact with the group that we're working with. This is just the solution for now, and you know it is a long-term solution if need be, but you can still visit that same URL, urbanapublictelevision.org. Still has all the same basic stuff. You can watch our videos on demand. The YouTube player is just embedded into a page. The live stream is on there. The broadcast schedule, you can see what's playing next, and then all the information that you would need to sign up and become a member, or you can apply for an internship, everything like that. So that's urbanapublictelevision.org.
Yeah, and then I guess we have a little clips reel we can show you.
Welcome to It's All About You, a program that keeps you connected to all the exciting events and services the City of Urbana has to offer. I'm your host, Natalie Kenny Marquez.
First off, I'd like to take a moment to thank whoever's idea it was many years ago to wear black polyester outside in summer. We all appreciate it. All right, well, this afternoon makes 8 graduation ceremonies I've attended, and there are a few common themes I've noticed between them. For instance, nobody ever holds their applause till after all the names have been called, no matter how many times they're asked to do. There's always someone who brought an air horn. I'm sure we'll hear it later. And the more a speaker stresses that they'll be brief, the longer and duller their speech turns out to be.
And Veronica is here with us. We're happy to have you with us, Veronica.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Tell us the role that you're playing in this production of Annie.
I'm playing Tessie.
Okay. And do you, what all do you do as playing Tessie?
I have lines, and I get to dance, and I get to sing in it.
Oh, that's wonderful. What do you prefer the most?
I like acting better.
Oh, okay, that's great. Is this fun to go to the rehearsals?
Yeah, it's really fun.
What's the most interesting thing about the rehearsals?
I have no idea. I like everything.
My feet in my head, shackles on my soul, I'm the walking dead. Wrapped up, trapped up, stuck in a snare. Gonna shake them all just to you, I swear. I'm shaking, shaking, shaking. I'm shaking the cobwebs off. I tell you I'm shaking, shaking, shaking. I'm shaking the cobwebs off.
And approaching behind them is the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District. Of course, CUMTD is the main provider of mass transit for the Champaign-Urbana area. Again, having their vintage bus. Always cool seeing what used to be used as a regular transportation. And the fan favorite, the minibus. Don't know how many people that's going to hold or how many people it can run, but it's fun anyways.
One, two, three, four. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning. All your farmer friends are there at the market at the square. I'm heading on down to the market Saturday morning.
You never said you love me, and I never asked you why. I guess that you tried to show me, and so unaware was I. You always seemed to believe in me, you never said goodbye. You never did believe me, and I never asked you why.
Our babies are running wild. They learned by example. Society been against them since birth. And when you never develop self-worth, self-restraint, or self-respect, what else can you expect? Use 5-0 to teach the children violence, then throw them all in one crowded place and give them a little silence before the gunshots erupt. The system is corrupt, but this was not abrupt. This toxic seed was planted decades ago, and they subconsciously self-trained themselves to help the hate grow. Now they can't let go to the only thing they've ever had to call their own: rage.
And we'd be happy to entertain any questions you might have.
Very impressive quarter, it sounds like. Tons of stuff changing, and most of it for good, as far as I can tell, except for the loss of the staff. But you'll reconstruct that team, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you have prospects for filling those with some, is there a pipeline of people that feeds that intern position?
Yeah, I'd say the camera operator position is sort of our farm league. That's what Dan Pano was doing before he became. That's what Caleb did before, and that's what Caitlin did before that too. Yeah. So,
okay, good.
Yeah, we keep them coming. A good farm system is essential to success. Speaking as a Cardinals fan.
So moving on, I think the next order of business is audience participation, and we do have an audience member. If you'd state your name and address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes.
Uh, 1907 North Cunningham Avenue, and the items on the meeting agenda are the agenda items of a regular agenda, so I don't know if that's a good thing, and that leads me to repeat something I was talking about at March 14th, UPTV, which was that I think that the Illinois Open Meetings Act requires you to have, well, definitely requires you to have posted your schedule of regular meetings on the website, and I don't know that buried in a agenda would cut it for that. And I think it also in 2.03 requires that you give 10 days notice of rescheduling a date, and it doesn't allow for cancellation whatsoever. I'm sort of asking about that interpretation all over at all the commissions. I'm not, this is, then, okay, you didn't start exactly on time, and then if somebody thought they were late, they might not try to make it. So I think that actually 2.01 says that meetings start at the specified time and place, so that they have to for the Illinois Open Meetings Act. And I think that I like the way that Peter allows the 5 minutes uninterrupted, because it really isn't verifiable to the person in the seat if it's interrupted, that they get 5 pieces, it adds up to 5 minutes. I think that's a general principle. Everything that is required by the law should be verifiable, easily verifiable. And okay, one thing that I was hoping to combine 2 things was like to show the UPTV page and show the way that you have your upcoming dates and how it compares to some of the other web pages. And then I was going to see, well, does it come up on this monitor, which is out in the chambers, which probably is what's on the TV screen of people at their house or streaming live. It is. They're going to see that. Well, there is another screen that is sometimes but isn't always in the chambers. It's like a roll-down projection screen that's behind the dais of the commissioners, and that is that I feel as if since they can be independent, we would like to know what controls them and also how to refer to them, some terminologies, so we can, like say, if you were sitting in this desk, you might like to ask to have something displayed. People in the audience can't say anything; they have to keep quiet. But if you're here, so one thing I was going to go. I'm not seeing very well these days, but because I can't wear my glasses, but so I wouldn't be able to see what I was getting up there. I guess I could see it on the computer. That's a good point. I went to the government and then boards and commissions, and UPTV is commission is not saying that these meetings that, well, today's meeting, it says it's a special, but the other upcoming meeting that's posted or these past meetings, they don't say that they're regular meetings. You know, the Open Meetings Act is so emphatic about, that's the first thing in the, it says, every public body shall give public notice of the schedule of regular meetings at the beginning of each calendar or fiscal year and shall state the shall state the regular dates, times, and places of such meetings. So,
I think your time is up.
may I ask for more time?
You may ask, but
It has to be a motion, I suppose, for it from the commission, from a commissioner.
if someone would like to move to grant her more time. I don't hear any such motion, so.
Thank you very much.
So I wanted to respond briefly to that. I am not the FOIA officer for the City of Urbana or the UPTV Commission. I don't know if those are separate, but my guess is that they're the same person, even if they're separate roles. But there is such a thing in the FOIA law as a FOIA officer, and it's that person that would need to take care of those items. Now, I can tell you that we do follow the law with regard to public announcement of the meetings. It does not require it be listed on the website. It requires that, as you read, that they be announced at the beginning of the year, and we do that, and they're publicly noticed, which involves noticing it here, and I believe in the paper. Is that correct? No,
on
not
the
anymore.
website and on the
And
wall
physically.
of the chambers.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they are publicly noticed, and my impression is that follows the site. But arguing with me is not what's needed. If you have a concern about whether it follows whether we're violating FOIA in some way, not FOIA, open meetings. There is a process in that for bringing up those concerns, and if you could start by sending that in written form, and if you don't want to go through the formal process, then you can send it in a written form just so that we know exactly what you're asking, and then we can try and get a response. Okay. Go ahead.
Would someone who has control of a mouse please click on the 12/12/14 at 12 p.m. meeting?
I just did, Carol.
Yeah, thank you.
I have one up here too.
And so, yeah, that doesn't say that it's specifically a regularly scheduled meeting, but I think that would be assumed normally, unless otherwise noted. Thank you, Jason. Sorry. I had just indicated that the webpage indicates not that the regular meetings are regular meetings specifically, but rather that it is the special meetings that are noted as being something other than regular meetings.
I'll also mention, just for whoever's in charge of the website, that it seems to be missing the September.
Yes, I noticed that, and I don't know why. Somehow I think I knocked it off when I added the special meeting, but I'll address that as soon as the meeting is over.
Right. Okay, moving forward to unfinished business, policies and procedures revision. Is there any movement on that?
None at all.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's been movement on it, but there's no, it remains unfinished, let's put it that way. We've been in a sort of a state of flux over the last quarter, both in terms of Sanford taking over our move from finance to executive, the budget negotiations that have been going on, the staff changes. There were some questions about membership levels and titles, and everything just seemed to be kind of, all the cards were kind of up in the air. So I decided to wait until things sort of settled down as far as that goes. Also, it's, you know, vacation time, so with a two-person office, it's kind of busy. The other thing is that I really appreciated the idea of doing a formal presentation on whatever kind of policy changes we make at the membership meeting in December. So I guess my new goal is to have everything ready by then, so we can actually present it to members and actually sort of make that a regular part of the annual membership meeting. Is these are whatever changes we're proposing for the year to come. Now, budgetary items need to follow the City of Urbana fiscal year, which is July 1st. But policies and procedures, I think, can be on the calendar year schedule. So that's currently my goal, and hopefully we'll be able to make some forward progress. Things are beginning to sort of settle down and stabilize. And once that happens, we'll be meeting with Sanford again to see where we are with this whole process. But the process hasn't been abandoned, it's just been delayed, I guess.
Understandably.
If I could just move backwards for a moment to the meetings. I'm wondering if, since you mentioned earlier the Twitter feeds that we have, if changes in meetings are announced there, or if they could be, or do we have a Facebook page as well? Mm-hmm. Could those be announced there as well? I think that would be an excellent addition to have. Yeah. Thank you.
Dale, are you referring specifically to the UPTV commission or all commissions?
Well, I think it would be desirable for all commissions, but since this is the UPTV commission, I think that's about all we can hope to address today.
I might bring that up at the next communication and marketing meeting. Sanford also attends those meetings, and that might be something to talk about with the city as a whole in terms of what our approach is to that. I know there's some desire to, and maybe Sanford would like to speak more to this, to sort of centralize communications in the sense that everybody does everything sort of the same way. So I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Sanford.
It was a discussion a few months ago about whether that the city wanted multiple Facebook pages, multiple Twitter feeds, and the decision was made to separate them and keep them separate so they could each have their own sort of personality and focus. But as Jake said, there is also a desire to have some consistent standards apply across all of them. So this is a good topic we can bring up.
So I appreciate that, Bill.
All right. Any other comments? Nope. Okay. Moving forward to new business. The item here is equipment purchases, and I noticed there's at least one item of note on there.
Yeah. Some stuff was just smaller items, but obviously a larger item that you'll see there is the NewTek TriCaster 460. That's replacing our old NewTek video toaster, which we had for 10 years, which is basically what broadcasts these meetings. It's a camera switcher, graphic editor, everything you need to run the council chambers camera system. So that's been replaced, and that was obviously our larger purchase in quite some time, and especially for last fiscal year. Outside of that, you'll notice some headphones, a new camcorder for public access just to meet the demand that we were seeing there. Coming up, we did have some issues with the Nexus broadcast server, which basically broadcasts us to Comcast and AT&T, as well as to our live stream. And it's our scheduling software. It says, hey, play this at this time, play that at that time, stores all our files and everything. The compact flash card went bad in that. We have had that for 8 or 9 years now. So we were able to communicate with Latronics fairly timely and get that compact flash card repaired for the time being, and they will be shipping us a new compact flash card, and then we're going to start looking into a new broadcast server and see what's there. That'll of course take place in the 2014-15 fiscal year, and that'll also be a larger purchase.
Okay.
If I can add something to that, something to keep in mind about the way the city budgets for equipment is that we have an operational budget, which is a year-to-year spending. But then for larger equipment purchases, we have a special fund called the Vehicle Equipment Replacement Fund, or VERF is how usually hear people respond to it. So major equipment that we have is associated with a lifespan, and we estimate a replacement cost. And then those are planned as future expenses. So when we're coming up on a large purchase like the TriCaster or something like that, it's not coming out of the operational budget. It's coming out of the VERF. And there is a yearly contribution that we make into it. So it's kind of like a savings account in a way. And then we spend out of it as needed according to our schedule. So just kind of something to keep in mind that that's how we do these major purchases.
Do you have any notion of what the expense will be of that equipment?
It'll probably be in the
just ballpark.
$10,000 to $15,000 range.
Okay. If no one has any questions about any of those items, then we can move on. And I think the last item is commissioners' comments. Last substantive item. Nope. I guess I'll say that I look forward to the next meeting, and hopefully we can get Chris to give us a little update on what the schools are doing, because the school season or the school year will have started then, and we'll be able to see what they're doing. So, anyone else? All right. The next meeting is the next regularly scheduled meeting is September 12th at 12 noon in the Urbana City Council chambers, and with luck, we will all be here and see you on the same channel at the same time. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I will move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, good. The meeting is adjourned.